Breaking news here on Seattle Seahawks today. The Seahawks have informed quarterback Geno Smith that he will officially return to the roster in 2024 on his current contract. Welcome in. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us as we react to this news coming within the last hour from Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report, NFL Insider, tweeting out the following. Sources to Bleacher Report, the Seahawks have informed Geno Smith he will be on the roster in 2024 under his current contract. I'm told Smith has received commitment from Seattle's front office. Can't say I'm surprised this was heading in this direction with the news last week that the Seahawks and Geno had agreed to restructuring his contract, creating some cap space. We had heard some rumblings about potentially trading him, but it didn't seem like that there was much of a trade market for Geno anyway. Now, what this doesn't rule out is the possibility of the Seahawks bringing in another quarterback, specifically in the draft, potentially finding Geno's long-term replacement, getting the Seahawks long-term answer at the quarterback position. That doesn't end that speculation, but at least the speculation of whether Geno was going to be around or not with a new head coach and a new system in place, he will be the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks for now, and that is the key for now, as John Schneider told us earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, yes, a starter until he's not. I mean, really, this our coaches aren't down here with us, guys, so we're basically, what we're doing is, we have a vision, we have a plan for what we're doing. Next week, when we get back in the office after kind of learning the landscape down here, talking to all the agents, all the other teams, what we're going to learn throughout the week, kind of coming around the corner next week, getting back with those guys, with the new staff, with Mike's staff in place, and then, getting our alignment and, really asking for patience from all of our players. It's, all the guys that are free agents and the guys that, are still like kind of, on the team looking to just talk to their position coach. And I'm sure those guys are doing that this week. And I know some guys have already reached out and everything, but really just finishing up the staff last, maybe Thursday or Friday. So
now let's ask you, what is your one-word reaction to the news that the Seattle Seahawks are keeping Geno Smith around for 2024? My one word is expected. This is the news that I think we all thought was going to happen, especially when that contract was restructured. We will go over all the details, what you need to know in just a bit, but want to hear from you guys first. Give us your one-word reaction in the comments section. Folks, that's why you subscribe to Seahawks Today. We were just ready to pack up and call it a night, but then this news broke, and so I got big texts, and we dropped everything we were doing and brought you this video as quick as we could here on the channel. When breaking news happens, we talk about it right here on Seahawks Today. The latest happenings on your favorite team, we got you covered each and every day here on the channel. Free agency coming up here in a couple weeks. We're talking trade rumors, draft. We've been all over the Combine. Got a great team covering the Combine. Indianapolis this week, bringing you coverage like that interview you just saw there with John Schneider as well. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today. Keep us locked in. Stay alert. Stay informed. We got you covered here on the channel. All right, here are some things you need to know in regards to Geno Smith and his contract situation right now. The Seahawks recently converted $9.6 million of his roster bonus to a signing bonus, and that gave Geno a bit of a pay bump for this year. And it also created cap space for the Seahawks. Like Dave Ramsey, they made their money work for them. And so the Seahawks, with the restructuring of Geno, created about $4.8 million in cap space. This was in addition to the cap going up by $30 million. So over the last couple of weeks or so, without even doing any cuts just yet, and those will come, I'm pretty certain, the Seahawks have already found more money to spend for this offseason. Geno's set to make a base salary of $12.7 million in fully guaranteed money. And at the moment, he's the only quarterback on the Seahawks roster. Drew Lock is a free agent, but you better believe that is going to change. There will be other quarterbacks that come into the fold, whether it's bringing Drew Lock back, whether it's drafting a quarterback, bringing in a veteran, whatever it may be. Geno will not be the only quarterback on this roster for long. Geno's resume includes a 17-15 record as the Seahawks starter over the last 2 seasons, took them to the playoffs in 2022, and what a season it was in 2022 as the Seahawks quarterback set 4 Seahawks single-season franchise records that year and threw for 30 touchdowns. This past year, his numbers fell off quite a bit, went from 30 touchdowns down to 20 touchdowns. His completion percentage went from near 70% to about 65%, and his yardage went down from 4,200 to 3,600 yards, but it wasn't a bad year. Now with a new coach and new system coming into place, Ryan Grubb is the new offensive coordinator. The question becomes, what does Geno Smith have for year 3? Are we going to see those numbers closer to what they were in 2022, or is he going to take another step back potentially from what we saw in 2023? More to come here on Seahawks Today, but first, let's tell you about today's sponsor. We are sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, yardage, maybe it's home runs, maybe it's rebounds. You can mix and match different leagues, the NFL, the NBA, MLB, NASCAR, golf, and more. I've been doing really good on NASCAR. But this week, I am putting my money on the Combine. Yes, you heard that right. The NFL Draft Combine. You can even play Prize Picks on the Combine. Amarius Mims, I got with less than a 5.2840 time. He can run faster than that. Come on now. Jaden Daniels, potential future Seahawks quarterback. More on him in just a moment. We got him to have less than a 4.52 in his 40 time. I think he's going to be even faster than that. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match on your first entry. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of Seahawks Today. All right, so the perfect quarterback plan for the Seahawks. This is what they need to do for this offseason and going forward. Geno needs to be the Seahawks starting quarterback next season. We've said that for the last several months and will continue to reiterate. He needs to be the guy for this season. But then going forward, I think whether it's this year's draft or next year's draft, you need to find your quarterback of the future, your long-term solution on that rookie contract. You need to find that guy, whether it's this year or next year, because you're only going to get this type of play from Geno Smith out of him for so long, right? Eventually, you got to find that guy. And the best system for success when it comes to young quarterbacks is to sit behind the veteran for a year until they're ready. We saw it with Patrick Mahomes behind Alex Smith. We saw it with Lamar Jackson behind Joe Flacco. We saw it with Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre. We saw it with Jordan Love behind Aaron Rodgers. Heck, even Brock Purdy sat behind Jimmy Garoppolo for a decent amount of time, too. Over and over and over again, that has been the best recipe for success, and that's exactly what the Seahawks should do. As you heard John Schneider say earlier, Geno is the Seahawks guy until he isn't. It's not going to shock me at all if the Seahawks do end up drafting his replacement this year. Now, John Schneider said this week that he's embarrassed that they've only drafted 2 quarterbacks in the last 14 years. And I think a lot of that was how Pete Carroll operated things, with Pete in charge, overseeing John Schneider. Now John calling the shots. John's made his intentions known. They are in the quarterback market, and they've already met with Jaden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner, who's projected to go in the top 3 of this year's draft. But maybe there's a situation where the Seahawks trade up, or if he slips a bit, that Seattle could make a move. But I got to tell you, just the idea of Jaden Daniels alone is an intriguing idea for me. And a guy that has got all the skill sets, right? Sitting behind Geno, make that transition. To me, that could be nice. That could be a good play for Seattle. That's just one idea that's out there. Will the Seahawks draft Geno's replacement this year? Let me know what you think. Y for yes, N for no in the comments section. Thanks for stopping by and joining us here on this special breaking news edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, and we'll see you next time.